Hi, everyone. As you can see, I am back home. Today is July 9th, and it's been a long, well, trying to remember or figure out which day kind of it feels like, but uh, yeah, I left uh, Dublin Tuesday morning, then had a long layover in Toronto, and I'm glad I um, took advantage to go downtown and walk around and discover the downtown area. I was very pleasantly surprised about how kind of much it kind of reminded me of New York in a way of like a big city, but at the same time, just the kind of a peaceful tranquil vibe where a lot of young people walking around, cycling, walking their dog next to the water, exercising, jogging. So, um, yeah, it had a big city look to it, but also just people outdoors enjoying the weather um, and so I went straight from the airport to the Union Station, and then walking around that area. Then to I had heard about the St. Lawrence Market, and I was not disappointed. There was a wide variety of food, so I could kind of make my own, baguette with some local cheese and some fresh produce like cherries and things. So, um, and I could see some other things that I was tempted to buy, but I realized like, okay, I need to make sure by the time I get home, I still have money for my Uber, and so yeah, I walked around, tried to get as close to the water, the harbor front on the quay, and just sit there on a bench, and it was just so peaceful, listening to birds chirping and people walking, young families strolling with their um, uh, the baby strollers and prams, and it's just like, yeah, this is surprisingly calm and peaceful. I wasn't expecting this, so I'm glad I went to discover a new city, and then I got back to the airport, and I think I was taking too many pictures because my cell phone battery was dangerously running close to turning off, but I still needed to access the QR code to get back on the train and also show my boarding pass. So I needed to make sure I could charge. Luckily, the train did have a charger, which I hadn't seen that before, and actually with an outlet, so I could charge my phone while going back to the airport for like a half hour, and that was enough, so I could be able to use the QR codes. And got on the plane, and then it was about a 5.5 hour flight back from Toronto to Mexico City, and the same restaurant that where I had gotten breakfast the other day was right next to the exit. So I made sure to ask before I left last time what time they closed, and they said no, that they're open 24 hours. So I was able to get like breakfast at midnight, which literally was 7 in the morning in Dublin, but midnight in Mexico. So yeah, it was breakfast at midnight. And then I could have walked over to the bus station, showed my boarding pass to get a discount on the bus ticket, but I was like, I'm just going to pay for the convenience, just sit here at the cafe, at the diner, and purchase my bus ticket online and get it for like 2:30 in the morning. There could have been another one at 1:20, but I was just still trying to get some food. I was not in the mood to rush myself, so I just sat there, caught up on some emails and watching a YouTube video, like a late night talk show monologue, just to pass the time, and then get on the bus. Was able to sleep on the bus, and then we got in. Yeah, it must have been around like 5:30 in the morning, and then got an Uber and got back to my apartment. And the first thing I did was check on my plants because they had not been watered in like 13 days. Luckily, they seemed to bounce back. The even the avocado seed had been growing. It had enough water, so the leaves were getting bigger. So I'm happy about that. And just letting those plants soak for a lot more time. Some of the leaves on the vine, the Swiss cheese plant, seem to be getting just a little bit yellow, but I think they'll be okay. So, and then I started going through my bags to wash all the clothes, and also do some cooking, soaking some things like the black beans, garbanzos, lentils, and then let them soak, and then take care of some things and cook them, and kind of go lie down in bed. And then as I would wake up a little bit again, go back in, throw some more water to keep the water levels for the cooking. And eventually they were like slow cooking and without boiling and evaporating all the water. So yeah, there was food ready, food for this week. Washing the clothes, get them in the dryer, so all those clothes from the trip are clean and dried. And then just kind of letting myself nap, rest. Messages from my kids that they wanted to see me, that they missed me. So I was getting breakfast, getting lunch, and then getting myself ready to go walk over to their place and drop off some gifts from the trip, and get a chance to talk with them and hear how they were doing and tell them a little bit about the trip. And then this evening I went to go see the neighbors, since we have each Wednesday a conversation group, and I miss them, they miss me, and so it's good to tell them about the trip as well, and just keep myself kind of in a mix of resting and also staying awake enough to get back on schedule, so I'm not completely jet lagged and out of sorts. But I felt like it was a good, productive way to get back into my schedule routine and have things ready for the week, especially for food, and check in with friends and family. So that's it for today, and try to get some sleep soon. Hola a todos, hoy es miércoles, es el 9 de julio y ahorita estoy de regreso en casa. Hoy en la mañana llegué como a las 6 de la mañana a casa, después de viajar como 27 horas y medio. Un poco más, casi 30 horas si cuento la hora en que me desperté en Dublín, para salir del hotel, ir al aeropuerto, desayunar con mi familia y tomar mi primer vuelo de Dublín a Toronto. Tuve mucho tiempo de escala, entonces aproveché para ir al centro de la ciudad, conocer por primera vez y ver el ambiente y qué hay para conocer. Y luego regresé al aeropuerto para el vuelo de Toronto a la Ciudad de México, y luego como desayunar, cenar a medianoche, lo que era 7 de la mañana en Dublín. Luego compré mi boleto de autobús en línea en lugar de ir a caminar hasta allá, hacer la cola. Y entonces aproveché estar tranquilo y tener el boleto ya listo en el teléfono. Tuve el autobús, llegamos como a 5:30 a Querétaro, y luego tomé un Uber, y ya llegando a casa regaba las plantas que no tenían agua desde casi 2 semanas, entonces quería asegurar que siguen vivas. Luego empecé a lavar la ropa del viaje. ¿Qué más? Preparar comida para la semana y tener cosas listas. Y luego, ¿qué más? Entre cocinaba y dormía, descansaba, y en la tarde fui a ver a mis hijos y contarles el viaje, y en la noche pasar tiempo con los vecinos, porque los miércoles tenemos un grupo de conversación de inglés juntos. y ahorita haciendo la grabación y pronto voy a dormir. Bonjour tout le monde, aujourd'hui c'est mercredi, c'est le 9 juillet et là je suis de retour chez moi. Je suis arrivé comme à 6 heures du matin ici, mais ça faisait plus de 27-28 heures de voyage entre Dublin et en passant par Toronto et une grande escale. J'ai profité de l'escale pour aller connaître le centre-ville de Toronto pour la première fois et ça m'a beaucoup plu. C'est très tranquille, le centre-ville, ça m'a surpris un peu, mais il y a des gens qui profitent et c'est tranquille pour faire du vélo, se promener, et quoi d'autre. Donc après, il y avait le vol de Toronto à la ville de Mexico. J'ai profité du restaurant qui est à côté de la sortie pour les arrivées. Et après, j'ai pris le bus pour venir à Querétaro et un Uber pour rentrer chez moi. Et je ne suis pas allé tout de suite au lit, donc j'ai donné de l'eau à mes plantes et commencé à préparer de la nourriture pour la semaine. Sinon, le frigo était vide. Et quoi d'autre? Prendre un petit déj, prendre une douche, laver les vêtements de voyage et l'après-midi, je suis allé voir mes amis, voir mes enfants pour leur raconter le voyage et après voir les amis, les voisins avec qui j'ai un groupe de conversation en anglais. Et c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. Hallo an alle, heute ist Mittwoch, der 9. Juli und heute ist ein langes Tag. Ich bin bei mir um 6 Uhr angekommen und es war nach 27, 28 Uhr für die Reisen. Ich war in Dublin, in Toronto. Ich bin in Toronto, der Stadt, spazieren gegangen. Es ist sehr interessant, der Stadt. Es war mein erstes Mal dort. Und danach hatte ich mein Flugzeug für Mexiko-Stadt. Danach Abendessen oder Frühstück um 12 Uhr oder 7 Uhr in Dublin. Danach ein Bus. Ich bin zurück zur Querétaro angekommen und danach ein Uber bei mir. Und ich habe einige Dinge hier gemacht für Abwaschen, mein Kleid und Essen präparieren für die Woche. Und nach Mittagessen bin ich, wo wohnen meine Kinder, sprechen mit ihnen und danach mit Nachbar. Mittwoch haben wir die Gruppe für Konversation in Englisch und das ist alles für heute. Ciao a tutti, oggi è mercoledì, il 9 di giugno e ora sto a casa e ho arrivato alle 6 ore della mattina dopo 27-28 ore di viaggio. Da Dublin sono viaggiato a Toronto e ho andato nel centro per conoscere la città. Sono ritornato all'aeroporto per viaggiare di Toronto a Città di Messico. Ho mangiato nell'aeroporto e tomato l'autobus per ritornare a Querétaro, e Uber per ritornare a casa, e ho preparato alcune cose, per esempio lavare i vestimenti, preparare il cibo per la settimana e riposarmi, andare fuori per vedere i miei figli e vedere amici qui vicino con cui ho un gruppo di conversazione il mercoledì. E questo è tutto per oggi. Всем привет! Сегодня среда, это 9 июля, и сегодня я наконец сейчас где я живу, после 27-28 часов, чтобы путешествовать. И это был в Дублин, также Торонто. Я погулял в центре Торонто. И потом между Торонто и Мехико я ужинал в аэропорту, и потом автобус, чтобы вернуться домой, и также Uber. И когда я был здесь, я чистил одежду, я готовил поесть, я отдыхал немного, и после обеда я хотел увидеть моих детей и также встречаться с соседями, потому что среда у нас есть встреча, группа, что разговаривает на английском. Так, это все на сегодня. Большое спасибо. Пока.